Hey everyone, my name is Rebecca Pickens. I'm a certified book coach and a developmental editor. I help writers start, finish, and get their books out into the world. I also have a group coaching program called Self-Editing Essentials. And this is group coaching for fiction and memoir writers who have finished or almost finished their manuscript. We get together to talk about revision work and prepare manuscripts to be shared with beta readers, editors, publishers, and literary agents. If you would like to learn more about the work that I do supporting writers, you can check out the link in the comments below. So, I get asked all kinds of really good questions from the writers that I work with, from the people who subscribe to my newsletter. And so I wanted to take a chance I want to take an opportunity to start sharing some of these questions and my answers here on my new YouTube channel. So I hope you will subscribe, and I hope you will also send your questions in to the comments section below. I would love to take a look at them and answer them if I can. Today's question comes from a former client of mine, a wonderful writer and a really great person named Karen Bourne. Karen wrote a children's picture book for young equestrians called Ruby Roo Farm Saddle Fitting for Kids. This book is for any young person who is interested in taking care of horses and learning more about the art of saddle fitting. I will tell you, when I met Karen, I knew nothing about this subject, but I sure learned a lot from her. So if this sounds like something that would appeal to a young person you know, check out. Also in the comments, I will have a link to her book, and I hope you'll check it out. So Karen asked a great question that I get asked often. She asked, should self-published authors get a Library of Congress control number, which is also called an LCCN? And if their book is already published, can they still get one? Thank you so much, Karen. These are good questions. So before I begin, I just want to say that this conversation is for people who are self-publishing in the United States. If you are publishing with a traditional author, your publishing house will take care of this detail. If you are publishing in a country other than the United States, this also does not pertain to your situation. So let's start by defining what an LCCN is. Probably the easiest way to think about it is almost like a social security number for books. It's how we track books in our system. So the Library of Congress, as you know, is among the largest libraries in the world, and they have a very, very extensive catalog. And this is where librarians in the United States will go to look to acquire new books for their collection. So if I'm working with a writer who is self-publishing, and I know that one of their hopes is to get into the library system or another similar kind of platform, I will usually go ahead and encourage them to apply for an LCCN. It's really not that hard to do, and it gives your book that extra bit of professionalism that most people are pretty excited to have. Now, you don't have to get an LCCN. It's not essential. It's not like an ISBN. So if you're not planning to sell your books in libraries, if you are planning to do most of your sales on your website, or you have some other creative marketing techniques in mind, then you really don't need to concern yourself with this. But if you want to keep your options open, I really recommend giving this a try. It's not difficult, and it's kind of fun. So what you need to do is simply go on to the Library of Congress's website, and you will see a form there walking you through the steps to apply for your LCCN. They will review your material. It's not a guarantee that it will be accepted into the catalog. I'm not going to swear by this number, but I read somewhere that about 60% of submissions are accepted into the catalog, which is pretty good. Those are some good odds. So I say go for it. Give it a try. It's not that difficult. I think there's a tendency online to see all these different acronyms that come up with self-publishing, and it can feel a little bit overwhelming. But But honestly, this is kind of one of the perks of self-publishing. This is your chance to pat yourself on the back and give yourself this reward. It's kind of neat to think about being in the Library of Congress, right? So if this appeals to you, I encourage you to give it a try. Now, Karen asked another question. What if you've already published your book, you've already self-published your book, and you did so without getting an LCCN? So optimally, like the best case scenario, while you're doing all of the other things that need to be done to get your book ready for self-publishing, ideally you are also working on acquiring your LCCN because it takes some time. Um, but if you did not do that, that's okay. This can happen. It's not a big deal. What you'll need to do is the same process that you would have gone through if you were applying at the time of publishing. So in other words, go on to the website, the Library of Congress's website, look for the LCCN form and fill it out just as you would ordinarily. The only thing that's different for you is that you're going to need to go and change your metadata, and you're going to want to update the page in your book. So like in this book, whoops, right, where you have all the copyright information, you're going to want to go in there and add your LCCN number so that your books are tracked. So there is going to be that inconvenience of taking care of those updates, but otherwise it should go quite smoothly. It's no problem. And next time you'll be prepared to do it at the same time of publishing. I hope that answers your question, Karen, and I hope that's helpful to others. If you have a question that you would like to ask me, please go ahead and put it in the comments section. And if you are enjoying if you think you would enjoy this series, please go ahead and hit subscribe. I will be coming back here every week with more answers to your questions and lots of other stuff too. We'll talk about all things writing, and I really can't wait to uh, see you again, continue on with this. Thanks so much, everyone.